All right, from the Video 8 archives today, 33 years ago today, from compilation interviews number 9. No, not Charlie Manson, as much as you guys would love it. It's already up there. But we've got almost as crazy stuff. Eleanor Coppola, Francis Ford's wife, just shot her first film. It didn't get released for 15 years. She talks about the creative process and how Hearts of Darkness, her look at the filming of Apocalypse Now, came to be. This aired on the Dennis Miller Show on March 10th, 1992. My goodness. Old people.
Folks, welcome back. Tomorrow we have News of the Week. Lori Loughlin from Full House, legendary musician Stephen Stills, comedian Carol Leifer, and actor Cuba Gooding Jr. My next guest was recently nominated by the Directors Guild for her documentary entitled Hearts of Darkness, a fascinating film about the making of Francis Ford Coppola's Apocalypse Now. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Eleanor Coppola. Wow, it was just a killer piece of work, Hearts of Darkness. And I was wondering, why did you wait for 15 years? What happened there? Lost backing for it? Or is it tough to get documentaries made? Or what actually happened that it took so long to get it made?
Well, it's a little bit of a story. Actually, when we went out to the Philippines with our family, Francis got a call from United Artists saying they were going to send out a documentary team to make a 5-minute piece for television, just a little teaser. And Francis had so many problems and so much production difficulty that he said, well, never mind, we'll do it in-house. And so then he turned to me and he said, okay, Ellie, you do it. And I had never made a film before, so a camera arrived on my front porch and an instruction manual.
Oh, God.
And I read it, and I said, well, I ought to be able to get 5 minutes of material sooner or later. We're going to be out here 16 weeks. So I started out, and it just kept going. And after a while, they said, well, let's make a 15-minute piece. And then they said, well, let's make a 30-minute piece. So after a year, they said, let's do that. So I came back with 60 hours of film and 40 hours of audio tapes. And then they all argued about what I should make out of this. I should make a sales promotion piece for the foreign market, or I should make a film that would interest women in coming to see a war film. Or, everyone argued about what it should be, and Francis didn't want Marlon Brando to be seen in the video, in the documentary, because he didn't want to see him walking around in his costume. He wanted to present him as this theatrical character with, in the dark and the light.
Not diffuse the myth.
Exactly. So the footage finally all just went into storage. And it didn't come out until about a year and a half ago. And then the purpose was different. It didn't have to be a promotional kind of film.
Right.
And we could use a lot of the footage that really spoke to the issues of how films are made and what the creative process is.
How long did you end up in the Philippine jungle? You took your kids, too,
yes,
right?
Yes.
And how long were you there in toto?
Well over a year and nearly a year and a half.
Jeez. So essentially the book or the movie began to mirror the story it was based on. At some point, your husband had gone up the river, and it was tough to get him to come back down, I presume. What was your take on Brando? Now, in the documentary, do we have a clip of this? Let's run the clip before we talk about it. This is from Hearts of Darkness. Of course, that was. Of course, that was Dennis Hopper, the production's pharmacist. And I talked to your husband once at Saturday Night Live, and he told me there's that great scene where Hopper just kind of goes off, and he's on some mad, like, Joycean rant or something. And I said, how did you evoke that from him? And he said, I just turned the camera on, for God's sake. He was out there like that on his own. It must have been a pretty weird shoot. Now, Brando, he comes off as such an odd type in the movie. He comes on late. He refuses to even budge a little for your husband in his production schedule. What was your take on him? Was he an addition to the film, or did the end of the film confuse people and, like, kind of wipe away what went before it, do you think?
Well, it's a complicated issue, I think, because Brando was supposed to play a Green Beret, officer, and he promised to come out to the Philippines, lean and mean and trim and slim.
Right.
And of course,
Uncle Fester. Well, he did show up a little out of shape. I mean, I love Brando, but he did not look lean and mean.
So Francis said, well, okay, what are we going to do here? We'll make you into a character who is in the jungle and kind of lost in himself and is eating all these mangoes and has a bevy of native women around and just has sort of gone too far.
Like a Gauguin type or something, it seems.
Yeah, but when he talked that over with Brando, Brando refused to play that part. So now he was really stuck. So the two of them had to sit down and they spent days searching for what Brando was willing to play that would fit the film. Right. And it was a real struggle to come up with that. Well,
I've always found the film one of the most fascinating films. I say, parts of it I don't understand, but I loved Apocalypse Now, and I didn't think I could see anything that would fascinate me as much, but I thought your documentary was just brilliant. Congratulations on your Directors Guild nomination. I can't believe you're not up for an Oscar, but you and Michael Apted for 35 Up, you're in great company, so... Some great films weren't nominated. It's a real disappointment, but I don't know, myself and a number of people have signed a letter asking for a review of how that process. The voting? Yeah. Well, over the years, several have been really neglected, I think. I can't believe both of those aren't in. And Milius was so funny in that movie. I've got to get him on here. He made me laugh so hard. He's great. Congratulations. I thought it was great. Eleanor Coppola, folks.
We'll be right back with rock and roll painter Denny Dent after this.
Thanks for watching Cleveland Live Music. It's awfully bright out here. I'd click on another one of my videos. Quit looking into the sun. Your mother told you not to do that. Please hit the subscribe button. And if you want to support the channel more, there's GoFundMe and Patreon information in the video descriptions. Ooh, ooh!